I remember the first video that I did, and I remember when we wrapped the shoot and I just didn't want to go home. And I still get that feeling now.
Since I was little, my way of interacting with the world was through images. So filmmaking came as a natural way of this native language that I have.
I think stories are best when the filmmaker is passionate about the topic, when they really believe in the story they're telling.
It just feels like home, directing.
I see climate change as the greatest storytelling challenge of our time. You know, this moment requires us to tell a new story. That just intrigues me and excites me as a filmmaker.
I love challenging myself. I get quite bored easily, so yeah, looking at like a new challenge, I look at that and embrace it. I really think that representation is important, especially now people want to see women in these roles.
Something that I learned in my early career is that when something is difficult, it's gonna teach you something. This is a part that is challenging, but I love it.
I really think mentoring is important because not only does it guide you, it saves you so much time because you're learning from someone that's already done what you want to do.
In the future, I'm really excited about collaborative storytelling and finding new and innovative ways to highlight the voices of people who are so often marginalized in the climate conversation.
Working with someone with a bit more of a name is kind of like a way to like get your foot in the door and people take you seriously. So that's what I try to offer to my mentees. I've noticed that a lot of creatives, especially women, they kind of like hide in their Instagram. Like they don't show that they're a woman and they just kind of like post their work. I'm really big on, you know, making sure that you build up a personal brand as well as just showing your work.
Audiences more and more want to be in contact with the filmmakers. They can change everything because they are part of your story.
What I loved about creating a YouTube channel and making films on social media is having that direct relationship with my audience, being able to get direct feedback on what I've made and being able to converse. And in a way, it feels more informal than an audience. It feels like a sort of two-way relationship.
I think changes in technology are making this filming more accessible for everyone because you have it in your hands.
I think it's really exciting when you look at the development of cameras. You know, every year they get smaller, they get cheaper, but higher quality. And that's exciting because it makes filmmaking more accessible to a wider bunch of people.
When I think about the filmmakers in the 50s, for example, you needed a big team, a lot of money to do any production, and now with creativity and a minimum team, you can do things that are very interesting.
My first Canon camera was a Canon EOS 60D, and at first I got it just for photography, and then once I found the film element, that was it. I was using it for pretty much everything I could shoot.
I started with a Canon 7D, then moved on to a Canon 5D Mark II, then graduated to the Canon C300 Mark II, and now the Canon C70. And in a way, the development of Canon cameras has sort of mirrored the development of my own filmmaking career.
I feel like I've had a really successful run within the UK music scene, which is where I always wanted to make a name for myself. And now I feel like I'm at that point where I've done so much that I don't want to take up the space. And I feel like it's vital to be able to like hand it to the next generation.
The filmmaking landscape has changed dramatically over the last 10 or 15 years. So you can literally build an audience from your bedroom. And that's really exciting because it means there's less gatekeepers, which means that storytelling is democratized.
I think future of filmmaking is in combining different platforms. Telling stories with images behind the camera makes me feel complete. It doesn't feel hard.
What I really love about directing is being able to tell a story in movement and emotion, and you can really like show a person's personality or tell a story in great depth.
If you want to make films, just grab a camera, tell the story you want to tell, and share it with the world.